Oh my goodness, you guys, how exciting is this? We are so thrilled to be here. I know that you have been waiting with bated breath for this for almost more than a month or 2 months, and we cannot wait to reveal the new inlay. We're Sally and Josie with IOD, in case you didn't know that, and we are here in Annie Sloan's warehouse studio. I know, pinch us. We're so excited.
Oxford.
In Oxford.
The beautiful countryside.
Yes.
Oh, it's lovely.
And we're so excited that you are here with us in spirit. I know you're here to see Annie, and she will be coming on in a minute. But we wanted to take a second to just talk about our inlays, because I know for many of you, they are new to you. And so do you want to just, I've been talking a lot. What do you want to talk about the inlays?
So what we love about the inlays is that they are real paint.
Yes.
Very similar, our formula is very similar to a true artist's wash, which means it's water reactive. And that means when you apply it to your project, before you've sealed it, you can go in and manipulate the pigment and do things that put your own handy thumbprint on it, so that it's truly your work of art. So it's got this organic, kind of more like a working medium. If you were, say, to compare it to a transfer, which is a film, an image film, the inlays are quite different to that. They are a working medium, they are real paint, and you are inlaying them, embedding them in a wet medium on your piece. And so, of course, that just goes so beautifully with chalk paint.
And Jonathon will be Jonathon Marc Mendes. We have him here too. And he is going to be going into some more of the step-by-steps and the science behind the inlays and how to use them yourself later. So make sure you stick with us for that. That's going to be amazing. He has a project that you will absolutely love. And we will be showing you the inlay. But before we go much further, we want to talk a little bit about how excited we are and honored to be working with the pioneer behind chalk paint, Annie Sloan. It has been somewhat of a vision of ours from the beginning. We knew that at some point we would be working with Annie on something like this. We didn't know what, because at the time we didn't even have paint inlays, but it was, you know, as always, God's timing. It all came together when the paint inlays came out. She couldn't resist. And so here we are with Annie Sloan, and we would love to invite her up on the stage with us.
Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for working with us on this product, Annie. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind it?
Well, the inspiration for the actual design, or why I wanted to do it, because I'd like to say why I wanted to do it. So we met in England. We met many years ago in Oregon, and that's the whole big story. And we thought we were going to work together then. And then, so last year, was it last year or the year before? Can't remember.
About a year ago, a little more.
So I was introduced with Jonathon at the PBA to paint inlays, and I thought, this is fabulous. I really love it, because I could see it was very painterly. I actually haven't used it as painterly as I could. I think this is going to be a voyage of discovery. So I've used it, and my design inspirations have been very classical. I've been quite strict, I think, in my design. Everyone says it's very whimsical and creative and painterly. That's because the lines are wibbly wobbly. But it comes from a classical Greco-Roman design, and that's something which I think is behind the whole of European art, decorative art. So very important. So that's where my inspiration comes from, and I've done it only with this, and I now want to do more, and I'm beginning to see it, because I've only just done the one thing, one before, and I've done a little bit else, but now I'm going to be painting with it more. So I didn't paint with it that much this time, because I was learning how to do it, but I do think that paint inlays have got a lot of broadness, a little bit like my chalk paint. And that's why I love chalk paint, because it does lots of things. It takes you on a journey. So you can do very flat, you can do textured, you can do washes. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this design, I think eventually I'll do lots of texture and stuff. I don't know.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
To you getting fun with
So
it.
has everyone seen the design?
No,
Okay.
we are going to go ahead and use a presentation so that you can get up close to the design and see it in its detail. So here we go. Excuse the tech for a minute. We have to switch screens so that we can present this slideshow of the product. Here we go. Okay.
There I am.
Is that showing up okay, Maddie?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. Annie Sloan Paint Inlay Reveal. So here is the cover.
Classical cameo.
Classical cameos. Isn't it gorgeous? This is just a beautiful classical design, but with a touch of whimsy.
Yes, just a little bit of the wibbly wobbly lines.
The wibbly
Give it
wobbly.
a sense of playfulness, which I love.
Exactly.
We love
Mhm.
contrasting like that.
So the lines and the spots and the dots and everything, it's all hand drawn. They're my drawings, and they're not like, well, I mean, I can draw, but I like everything to have a little sort of playfulness to
Yes,
it.
the movement. More
The movement.
Yes.
I don't like things to be too like, because you can get everything perfect, you can get everything photographically done,
Yes.
and that's great. But this is something which I think should have a painterly look to it.
Yes,
I
and it
agree.
very much does. So you can see here there are 8 sheets that are 12 by 16. So you can imagine all of the opportunity that you have and the flexibility and options with all of the designs. These borders with the repeat can stretch across an entire buffet. Or if you just want to add a little touch on a smaller piece, you could do that too. You have several cameos, and I love the way that you've made them facing in that true traditional symmetrical way.
Yes. Well,
And-
when you look at the practical use of the borders and the
Mhm.
trims, you've got essentially 60 inches in length end
Yes.
to end so you could do an entire buffet or a quite large piece with a touch of that trim quite easily.
Yes, you could.
And I've got some
Absolutely.
smaller things I can show you as well. You could
Yes.
do a whole lot of different things.
So here you can see up closer, these are the borders, and you have 5 different borders, very different from each other and complementary at the same time. So you can use them on the same piece, and you'll get a chance to see that in a little bit with Jonathon.
I believe I've seen one of the pieces that took just the pinstripes from one of
Yes.
those borders and used it, and it
Ooh,
looks
that's
so
clever.
good.
Exactly. I
It
think
It was
Oh,
Jonathan.
it was Jonathan.
I've done it again. Oh, and Danny.
And I've
Sorry.
done one.
Oh yes,
perfect.
and it's so good.
Yes, we're gonna bring some. We're
So
gonna
these
show
are
you
sort
some.
of quite architectural. So their ideas would be very
Yes.
architectural, but you see them in painters.
You're echoing. Because there's 2.
Oh, mute this microphone.
I did already,
Okay.
so it might be coming through. No, it's okay. Hold on one sec. Let me see if I can. But then it tends to go off completely but I'll try it.
Okay. It might be fine if once you go back to the phone.
Oh, you know what? I think I can do it. Hold on one sec.
So what are people watching now?
So they're watching
Like
this.
Oh.
Okay.
I want to know if people have got questions. That's all I care about.
So far,
That'd be
everyone
so
is
interesting.
just
Okay.
kind of chatting.
I just go to settings. Here we go. And audio. It's muted already.
Okay.
And you can't. It's not that, right? No,
What?
it's not just simply turning this off, right? No.
No, that's the speaker.
Hmm.
Is there still an echo?
I don't know. Let me ask Natasha. Keep going. And I'll,
Okay.
no one has commented about it.
Okay. Echo cancellation.
Sometimes
Okay.
it just happens, even
Yeah,
though you have
right.
all the settings right, and it comes and goes.
Okay.
Happens in Zoom calls too. So we'll just keep going with it, and you guys can let me know.
We can hear you.
Okay, great.
Hello, folks. Okay.
Okay, so
Very
back to the designs.
Sorry about
Hopefully,
that.
if you're hearing an echo, we apologize. It's just sometimes that happens when you have different cameras set up. So hopefully it is tolerable and you'll stick with us to see all of these beautiful designs. So you've seen the borders. Those are just gorgeous. A lot of different options. And Annie was just speaking about how they're all inspired by classic Roman architecture. And I love that. And here we have the cameos. So you can see you have a couple of different sizes. And I love
Very
these.
versatile.
I love the smaller cameos with the little elements, the leaf foliage
So I did
elements.
those because I wanted something to be a bit lighter because they can be quite, they're quite heavy, you know, and I wanted it to have a lightness to them. You mentioned how they look, the boy and the girl, they look to each other. Of course, you can have it the other way around.
Yes, true.
You can have
True,
them.
that would
I think Jonathon
Okay.
called his. What did you call them? Oh no, we don't.
So
Bob
these are
and
repeats.
Henrietta.
Bob and Henrietta.
Oh.
That's right.
And
Look
here
at
are
them,
some, we have
darling.
some live examples in the studio here, but we want to show you these pieces as well.
just beautiful.
Isn't these, oh, I love it on that neutral background.
And the broken color.
Yes, with the broken color. That's just
Very
gorgeous.
much.
It works so well with the neutrals there.
And when you're looking at the designs up close, and you heard us say a sense of whimsy and playfulness to it, it's because there's the wibbly wobbly, but there's also a varied line width in all of
Yes.
the elements that really, really bring that
It's true.
playful sense, and which is such a nice juxtaposition on the Roman Greco theme, which can
Absolutely.
be serious.
Yeah.
Love it.
Too serious.
Yes.
Oh, and look
and
at
who
it
did
on
that?
here. Oh, that's
Did you
just
do it?
gorgeous.
No.
Did Jonathan do
Someone
it?
here.
Jonathan
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
Oh,
Oh, that I did this one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I did
I
love.
love, look at how
It's
they
almost
used
like
the,
a
oh yeah,
a
it is
rough-
Jonathan.
It creates almost a ruffle.
It does.
And-
Like a lace ruffle around the edge
Like
of
a
that.
doily edge
It's
almost.
so clever.
But in a way that works.
We go out back over here and we'll go.
And we've asked lots of other people who've done some gorgeous stuff. Really lovely.
Yes.
And-
Oh yes, we have so many beautiful
Really
examples.
Okay.
beautiful.
And each time I think, oh, it looks wonderful on
Yeah.
that color.
Yeah.
Is the echo gone now that
Yeah,
we're
no,
not
it looks
sharing?
like that you're good, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
perfect.
okay,
Okay,
good,
that's good to know. Okay, so now we have Jonathan.
Oh,
Are we going to go ahead and introduce? Come on over.
come and say hi first.
Yes, come say hi.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
yeah, that we
Let's do
almost
this.
forgot.
Oh,
Yes, Annie
okay.
The inspiration.
Please,
how
guys,
would you
do show,
yeah.
do show.
You
I
guys
mean,
get to see
they
an
are-
inside peek at Annie's design process.
Yes.
So do you want to? So this is a cameo that I found, which I think is really rather beautiful.
It sure is.
And I've just got lots of things here. How am I showing this? Is this the best
If you-
way?
Yes, as long
Or
as
would you
so
like
if you
me
see
to-
here,
Yeah.
you see what they see, and
Okay,
so
so
there you
yeah.
go.
Do you want to?
It's up on the
Do you want me to bring this here?
Yes, bring this
I think
down
if you
here.
bring it to near to me, then it's easier because otherwise I'm going to be holding.
Ah.
So that's
Oh,
that
oh.
was.
Stay.
You can also take it
Okay.
off.
Maybe take it off so
Okay.
that you can do that.
There we go.
Sorry, everybody.
Wibbly wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly.
Design.
That's
There we go.
right.
Okay.
We've got a theme.
So this is my. Oops, yeah, that's where it starts. So this is something I've worked on for a long time. I love this sort of thing. These are quite old. I just want to show you how I developed an idea.
Get in some close on these.
Yeah, so this
There's
is a
really-
Roman guy. There's sort of ideas
Yes.
that I've had for a very long time. These are probably done years and years ago.
And look at these little frames.
And these little frames, and it's these sort of wibbly things like this. I've done, you find yourself working again and again. And these are some designs that I've just done. I mean, I just brought them all together.
Yes.
And these, lots of different borders.
Oh,
and these
yes.
all come from architectural
Yes,
things.
the egg and dart.
I
Egg and
love
dart,
seeing the
yeah.
behind the scenes and the sketch work that
This is actually
for it.
Greek, and so I've got designs here and here working on this. These sort of colours I think are really good colours that you could be using. I'll get onto colours later, but it's the sort of same idea. And then these little portraits here, and I did some portraits of those.
It's you're doing the sgraffito on
The
these.
sgraffito,
It's so
yeah.
beautiful.
Well, I love that because I can draw.
Yeah, it has
and I
a
love to
look that's
draw.
different to doing a positive over
Exactly.
color.
And this I think is lovely. So it's all came, but I rather like that because it feels like it's how it would look.
Mm.
These are the drawings, the first drawings that I did. So it's,
Oh,
it's
yes.
turned around the other way, but you can sort of see that's
Yes.
where I started them.
Oh yeah.
And I love this idea, and I love the sort of wibbly wobbly of that, and it's sort of come between those.
Yes.
In the end.
Absolutely.
And then the girl, because I thought, well, can't have two boys, you need some girls. And so
Lovely.
there's
I love the way she adds a feminine juxtaposition.
well,
to
you know.
the
Yeah.
So
design.
these were ones that I didn't have a one of those, but these are my own plates that I bought, which are actually turn of the century. They're sort of arts and crafts plates. They're about this big. I forgot to bring them, but I thought they were rather lovely. I loved her. But this is really where it came from, these girls here.
I love
that's how
her
it came.
profile. It's strong and has that
Well,
Roman.
you'll find that all of those ones are strong. They don't. They're not like little. They're not Disney girls.
No, exactly.
They don't have
They're
little
not.
turned up noses.
Right.
They're strong.
Don't you find that so many times that Roman nose, it does have a feeling of strength, even
Straight.
in a woman.
Yeah. So I think it's great. These are just all I've been doing. These sort of, I love these sort of borders. I'm always drawing them.
Yes, this one found its way.
It
right
found
in.
it in, so that's it. That's where I drew it from, and that I did several years ago. So I brought lots of things together. Because it's quite often you find yourself doing something, but actually you've already done it. So I go back. So this is, I've talked a little bit about the color, and color I think is going to be really essential to this. These are the colors we've done it in, which is basically a sort of Chicago grey, sort of old ochre and country grey, and of course Athenian black. But you could be doing it on any of these colours. I think we all
Very
look.
complimentary.
Yeah,
It complements
it's
very
lovely.
well on any
So
of these
these are
colors.
very traditional neoclassical colours. Look at Renaissance paintings, look at Wedgwood, look at lots of stuff. So if you know about Wedgwood, those are the colours which are beautiful, and neoclassical paintings, or Renaissance paintings. These are my colours, and these are just mixes that I've made.
Beautiful.
And that's it. So that's where it all comes from.
Fabulous.
So,
such a
well, thank you very much for asking me.
it. Of course.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Can I show my thing off on those?
Yeah.
Bring the lamp.
I was gonna say.
So, I'm a bit scared to move this lamp.
Is it heavy?
No, it's the lampshade is
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit wobbly.
Everything's wibbly wobbly today.
Everything's wibbly wobbly.
Oh,
So
that's
this
beautiful.
is a big old lampshade, lamp base and lampshade that I had. This was bright red, and it's paper inside, card inside, but fabric on the outside. So it's a little bit red, so you can see a little bit of the red coming through, which I think is really lovely.
It is. It warms it just a touch.
It really does. And this I painted with country grey and a little bit of old ochre and some white, so it looks slightly marbly.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And all of this, and I haven't waxed this, and what I loved is when I waxed everything, when my other piece I did, it all came up stronger, and I thought it was fabulous.
Yes.
So I didn't do it because I forgot, but I love the way it is actually quite rough. The wood here is really rough.
I like
But
that too.
I think that's really quite nice.
Yes, the broken color is nice,
Yeah.
and I also love the inlay on this neutral color.
Yes,
It is
It does.
really nice.
it's quite forgiving, I have to say.
Yes.
Especially when you're new to it. A neutral colour might be quite good. Once you've learned how to play about with it. And I think that's when you were saying about playing, I think next time I'll do it, I'm going to fiddle a little bit more with paint. And while it's wet, you can fiddle with
Yes.
it. And,
Oh, yeah.
and I might watercolour it and make it. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's
Even
next time.
after it dries, before
Oh,
you seal
before
it,
you seal it.
you
Yes.
can come back in
So
with
I could
water.
come in with that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can loosen the color
So
because
in
it's still
fact, I did a
active.
bit of it there thinking, oh no, that's gone wrong. but actually it could be quite nice.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
Anyway,
I love it when that
now
happens.
it's Jonathan's turn.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Let's
you,
come over
everybody.
to Jonathan, and we can just
Watch. We
we
can
can just
enjoy.
watch. Maddie, do you want to
Oh.
set it up on the tripod?
Sure, can you bring that
So
one?
we can just.
Feel free to interject.
Okay.
So, hello everybody.
Like it.
I'll let Madeline set up the
I
camera.
have to say,
Yeah.
Jonathan
Pull it
has
open.
made magic with the inlays. You guys, if you have not gone to his YouTube channel and seen his extensive or intensive video on the inlays, you
Yeah.
have to. It's one of the best videos with the
Right.
inlays that has been
Oh,
done. That
Thank you.
beautiful buffet with chateau.
Yes.
Yes.
The big side.
Right.
buffet.
Yes.
So whilst we're on YouTube, I have a premiere
Oh, here we
tomorrow
go.
evening at 7:30 UK time.
Okay.
It's a slightly different method. It's the lacquer method.
Oh.
So there's lots of distressing on the piece with chalk
Okay.
paint, and then the lacquer method. So it'd be nice if you could join me tomorrow evening.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different process, but today I'm going to add the paint inlays directly into some chalk paint. So I've already prepped an awful lot up, so you get to see a lot of the magic when the inlays come on. Hopefully, if I haven't rushed the process, they will be good when they come on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to do a little bit of trimming of some of the inlays. And of course, the synthesis of, that's a difficult word to say, synthesis of your pattern is completely yours. What I found with Annie's paint inlay, there are so many good uses. So you may not use the cameo and you may just use the border, and there is so many in that in this actual pack. So you can do a whole piece like this just without. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the paint inlays and I'm going to cut them to size, because I've got this little lip here at the back that I want to add this border pattern. I have trimmed off some of my, what we talked about earlier on, some of the borders which I could use elsewhere on the project. I could go along the top, around the edges. So there are so many elements within the elements of this one paint inlay. So I'm just going to trim off that final piece. We'll apply directly into the chalk paint. I'll do the basics of how to apply into chalk paint.
And all of these here have been applied directly into chalk paint, yes?
That's right. All of
Okay,
them.
and these are all set and ready to go, and he'll be removing these later, so you'll get to see that.
So with the chalk paint, they can be left to 24 hours or even longer before they're removed.
Mm-hmm.
With the lacquer method, depending on which lacquer that you're using, you need to remove them pretty much sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Practice runs always help.
Right.
With Annie's lacquer, I find if I use an atomizer on the outside surface of the paint inlay, which you'll see me do in a moment, it doesn't need to come off as soon. So there is probably about 30 minutes to nearly an hour of drying time before I remove with Annie's lacquer.
Okay, I
So,
see.
different with every product that you might use. So it's
Okay.
all about a fact-finding mission with your paint
Right,
inlays, I think.
right. And that's part of the fun of playing. Josie and I always recommend getting out some sample boards or a project you're not really attached to, a piece, and just play with it, because that's the way that you learn. You learn how much paint
Yes.
to use, how to not use too little or too much, or the different effects you can get depending on how much paint that you use.
And the beauty of these is you never know what you're going to get until you remove it. So
That's right.
all of this, I do not know. It's either going to be perfect or a real hot mess. I don't know. But hot messes can turn into something wonderful at the end.
Absolutely.
So it's a fact-finding mission from beginning to end. So if you get a problem, then it's fixing that problem. Well, you might see it as a problem. I never do. I always think that's magic.
Yes.
So we can turn a problem into some kind of magic.
Happy accidents is what we call them.
Yeah, I think that comes from Bob Ross. Does he say
Oh,
that? Little happy
maybe
accidents.
that's where it comes from.
I love Bob Ross.
Yes.
Right, I'm going to lay these to one side, and we're going to apply a healthy coat of, this is Athenian black chalk paint, and we're going to go directly into the chalk paint.
How long do you typically let your paint dry, Jonathan, before you go on with the second coat and the paint inlay?
I leave mine to dry till I see the paper go opaque again.
Okay.
So when the paper dries out, I kind of think that's good to go.
Okay.
The
Gotcha.
same with lacquer. It's kind of when the paper, because you'll see it'll go translucent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to throw this on.
That's one of the, there's different methods, but putting them into chalk type paint, it actually, one of the benefits is you can leave it for as long as you need to. You can leave it up to a week or more.
So spraying the backside of the paint inlays is a great shout, but sometimes I spray the front and it works really beautifully for me. So just a light mist. And what this will do, it'll help you with a little bit of stretch to the paper, because when paper gets wet, it stretches. And we can apply directly into, I can't see what I'm doing because I'm upside down. And second one in. Ooh, just enough to do this.
Oh, I love that choice of
I don't know
order.
whether it's even, but you've got a little play to wobble it around.
Oh, I think it looks fabulous.
Does
It
look
looks
level?
fabulous. Yes, I know it's hard when you're looking down at that angle, but
So,
it looks wonderful from
A
head on.
brayer can really make sure that you get good contact to contact on the inlay. And that's all it'll need. And then I give it a little light mist. And what you'll find is the pattern should show a little bit more sharper. And that means it's all embedded. It's got real good contact. Once that's happened, we leave that to dry. You can leave it 24 hours. You can leave it 2 days into chalk paint. But when it goes opaque, I'm ready to go. I'm usually filming in my studio, so I'm impatient. I want to take them off, see where we go. And that's
I'm
where
the
we're going
same
to
way.
go. We're going to go down here and start removing to see
This is the
whether my
fun
prep
part.
worked out. Okay. I'm going to go in with an atomizer just to get lots of moisture. And we're just going to go crazy with pulling these off. Can you see, I don't know if you can see on camera, when I hit it with the atomizer again, they come sharper. So that's putting the moisture back in. You girls know this. I feel like I'm teaching the IOD Sisters how to do it.
That's the beauty of this product, is we're still all exploring. All the creatives are exploring the different things that you can do with them, but you actually use some different methods than we do.
Totally. I think this is such a learning
And I
curve,
love
isn't it,
it.
for all of
It
us
really is.
to learn as we go along. And they are amazing. So you can go in with a cloth. Because I've got one colour as well, I'm not worrying about where I spray. If it was piece to piece, I'd be worrying definitely about trickles going down. But my work is stressed, and I think other things going on. Should we go with cameos first?
Yes, I think that's a good choice.
Right. Fingers crossed. There we go. Ooh. Straight off.
Oh, that's just
Look at the
perfect.
text. So I used a brush technique any what way. So you can see some of my brush technique in there.
Yes.
The whole piece had a base coat, and then I went back in with the graphite to apply them. I'm going to set them to one side because they will be reused.
Is it graphite or Athenium?
Athenium, sorry,
That's
Annie.
okay.
Athenium, which is perfect for this project because it's the
Great.
same home of
Athens.
yeah,
Yeah.
where some of these designs would come from.
Oh,
I've layered up this
that-
design.
So
This is one of the trim borders that I've broken up.
Oh,
There we go.
yes. That is a fun little bit of a twist on the cameo.
Yeah. If you find there's a little bit of resistance with the paint inlay coming off, add a little bit more water and then find an edge. There we go. Go again.
Mm.
Oh, here she
Oh,
is.
there she is.
Again, that's quite even. Does that all hey up? Lost a bit there. Let's
But I
see.
love that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Aged.
I love that.
That's the thing is you cannot get, it's difficult to get that effect if you try.
There we go. What I would be doing after this is completed, once they're in, I would be taking probably one of your distressing stamps and distressing over this, sanding back, because I know underneath here there is a white coat of paint.
Yes.
Because this is a previously painted piece of furniture. With wax on, with Annie's paint, you can paint straight over a wax piece, which is great for distressing. Here we go, borders coming off. I love all of these. I left purposely crinkles in certain areas. There should be some here in a minute. There we go. And I like that broken feel.
Yes.
This is where I added some extra borders to try and make a little square in the corner. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. We'll see. Not too bad.
It's perfect.
Oh, look at that.
I
That's
love
what I
it.
was hoping for. A corner. Oh, I love this.
That is beautiful. What a fun piece.
It's
Again,
very smart.
Yeah, and it
kind
has that
of-
traditional feel. Yeah, it's reminds me of a pair of Oxfords.
Yes,
With the-
it's structure.
Off they come. Oh, there's something so satisfying about
Isn't
it. I
there?
can't tell you how
Peeling off
satisfying
is
that
the
is.
best part.
I would say as well, the best thing to do with the painting layer is really plan. Plan your design ahead of time, dry fit them the other way round, remembering that they're going to go down directly into the paint. But that really helps in your design process. Where are we? We're up here now. Let's take some of these off. I'll try and go quicker so we get all of the reveal.
Oh, you're doing just fine. It feels like you're going slow when you're on camera, but
It
you're not.
does, doesn't
I
it?
know it does. But you're not. You're doing fine.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yes.
I love those corner elements. So the
They
corner
do.
elements are actually from one of the borders that I've taken out and used to make a corner.
I love this cabinet.
I was so excited when me and Annie talked about this. We said it needs to be on Athenian black. And
I love it. What kind of decor? I'm trying to picture this in a room.
ooh,
I feel like an ultra feminine room with lots of velvets. And
oh, sumptuous sort of
A little
Sumptuous.
bit, a little
yeah.
bit bougie.
big overstuffed down cushions.
Oh yes.
With soft pinks. I love it.
There we go.
Speaking of some of the different ways that you can use this design, we were talking about that earlier, and I love the idea of using the cameos as framed art in the gallery,
Oh,
just to
yes.
add a touch of fun and whimsy to just a more traditional gallery with portraits and landscapes and things. I think that would be a lot of fun. I might have to play with that myself.
I agree.
I just think the colorway on this one is so usable in so many different ways, especially for the borders.
Oh yeah, I loved it on that traditional with the distressed taupe. It's just stunning. And the lamp was another example of using this design on neutral.
Oh, and Jonathon I didn't even see that earlier, that he used the pin for creating the
pinstripe
we were
pinstripes.
talking
And
about.
look at
The
how
final
good that
piece.
looks.
Oh, I love that pinstripe. I'd buy this collection just for the pinstripe.
Yeah.
Right?
Look,
Because you
I
can get
would.
fussy with tape.
right.
How many of our viewers think we should do a set of just pinstripes?
pinstripes.
And
I think-
tiny pearls.
I think it
quite
would be a
like
good
it.
shout, just pinstripes.
Yes.
You can tell I've been in England
Look at
for a
that
while. I quite
Yeah.
like
little
it.
bit of design.
I
makes
rather
it
like
it
something
too.
different.
It's sorted.
It's sorted. Sorted with a T, not sorted with a D.
right.
See it, say it, sorted.
See it, say it, sorted.
There we go.
Yes.
So So that's all off.
It is just, it's
beautiful.
charming.
It has that charm, doesn't it?
It is.
So some of the things that I perhaps would do to finish this, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I would, at this stage, I'd be very careful and mindful of the paint inlays, not to sand over them at this stage because that paint's still active, but you could, in certain areas, be a little bit,
Yes.
you see there's a white underlayer?
Mhm.
I would
yeah.
maybe,
That really unifies it
Yeah.
with its background.
Oh, it does.
so I would take to the edge of some, I won't pull this out, shall I pull it out? Will it come out? Is it painted shut? Painted shut. We'll go on to that.
That happens to me all the time.
So
Yes.
It probably happens to
I
our
would maybe
audience
just
too.
kind of
Yeah.
do this at this stage before sealing it, but you really do have to be mindful of not going through your paint inlay because that is still very active.
until sealed.
And it also would be a good shout to use your stamps to add some sort of textures to it. So that there are a few things that I would do. Layer, chalk paint, paint inlay, chalk paint with your stamp, another layer, then top coat it either with your
Perfect.
lacquer,
So true.
lacquer with a roller. That's the new way. I've tried it now. It works beautifully.
Oh, perfect.
Lacquer with the roller, sealed. Not essential, but I would throw wax on it as well. And dark wax. That's
Yes.
just me.
Oh,
That's how I
yeah.
use the paint inlays. There are so many facets to this.
Well, your
Yes,
pieces
so
are
much.
so beautiful, Jonathan. I love the way you layer up texture, and it adds so much depth and character. And
Yes.
so I think you're right. I think adding some more with the wax and the dark
Yeah.
wax and the
And
distress
As
stamps
soon
and
as
such.
the wax hits it, it all comes to life.
Yes,
Really
it
Yes.
just
comes to life.
really comes alive. I'm going to want to see this with a service tray filled with crystal carafes and glasses on top of it.
Yes,
Oh,
but
yes.
actually, it could be a really swanky cocktail cabinet.
Yes,
couldn't
it could.
It's got
That's
that sort
how
of
it feels
dark
to
vibe.
me.
With the doors open and some crystalware inside
Inside.
as
Yes,
well. Yes.
exactly.
I love it. Maddie might
Ooh.
take it home.
The possibilities are endless, aren't they?
Mhm.
Really,
Yes.
they truly are.
It's just
I
beautiful.
wouldn't worry about this. This sanding that will change with
With the
Right.
finishing.
the finish on it. So that's something
Mhm.
that will happen.
Mhm. Especially with
It'll
the
all
dark colors.
unify when you apply your lacquer to the surface. It'll all
Yes.
unify over the whole piece.
Okay, we're gonna have Annie back up to say.
Thank you so much.
It's my
Close
pleasure.
out
My
here.
pleasure.
Thank you, Jonathan.
My pleasure.
Okay.
We've trapped you.
Yeah, here I am. Oh
we
my
have
gosh.
Annie's sandwich.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it has been such a pleasure working with Annie, and we're so thankful. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. I'm so delighted you asked me. And I think the most exciting thing for me is to see my design done by many people. I've already seen it done by Monica, who is our painter in residence. I've seen
Yes.
hers. Fabio, who's working with us in Italy, he's been doing, and he's in America as well. He's done a gorgeous one. My Spanish, I've only seen a few. My Spanish guy, Javier in Spain, he's done one which I love. Everybody's, I just love it. I see it.
That's
Like,
the
oh my
exciting
God.
part, isn't
It's
it?
so exciting. You've been through this before. I haven't. I see different paint colours, but the design is very different. So
It
thank
is.
you very, very
Thank
much.
you,
Thank
Annie.
you.
It's been a pleasure.
And there's
And
more
thank you.
on our YouTube channel and Annie's YouTube channel. You will see more of that. So
Yes.
make sure to subscribe to both channels
And get
And-
your inlay
and
from your
get your
stockist
inlay from
and
your
join the
stockist.
community and share your project.
yes. Okay, you
Yes.
guys. Thank you for joining us. Bye bye.